With the ever-changing landscape of cybersecurity, it's easy for organizations to focus most of their attention outward on the hackers, criminals, and rogue actors lurking beyond their digital walls. Firewalls, antivirus software, penetration testing. These tools and practices are designed to fend off external threats. But what many organizations fail to fully appreciate is that one of the biggest threats to their security doesn't come from the outside at all. It comes from within. Insider threats. People with authorized access to systems, data, or facilities pose a risk that could be even greater than any external hacker ever could. These insiders might be managers, regular employees, contractors, or even trusted business partners. What makes them so dangerous is the access they already have. While an external hacker must find ways to bypass layers of security, firewalls, authentication protocols, encryption, insiders are already through the gates. They already have passwords, swipe cards, and system privileges. They don't need to break in, they simply need to act. And because they operate under the guise of legitimate access, their actions often blend into the background noise of everyday business activity, making detection that much harder. In fact, a significant percentage of breaches today are not caused by sophisticated outside attacks, but by insiders, either by mistake, manipulation, or malice. Whether it's a file downloaded to a personal device, a sensitive email sent to an unauthorized recipient, or database access that looks routine but is anything but. Insider threats can cause catastrophic damage if not properly managed. Now, not all insiders pose the same risk, and not all are malicious. There are different types of insider threats, each with their own motivations and dangers. First, you have malicious insiders. These are individuals who intentionally seek to harm the organization, often out of anger, revenge, greed, or ideology. They may steal intellectual property, manipulate data, sabotage systems, or sell sensitive information to competitors or hostile parties. Think about the case of an employee at a financial institution who, after feeling wronged by management, decides to take client data with them to a competing firm, or the disgruntled IT administrator who quietly plants backdoors into systems before resigning, leaving the company vulnerable long after they're gone. Malicious insiders are often difficult to detect because they know exactly where to strike and how to hide their actions. Next are negligent insiders. These individuals don't mean to cause harm, but their carelessness creates vulnerabilities that others can exploit. They may use weak passwords, fail to update software, click on phishing emails, or ignore security protocols when it's convenient. A careless mistake, like plugging a personal USB drive into a corporate computer or leaving a laptop unlocked in a public space, can open the door to a major breach. In many cases, cybercriminals actively target these individuals because they are the easiest way into secure systems. No need to pick a lock when someone forgets to lock the door. Finally, we have compromised insiders. These are individuals whose credentials or access may have been stolen or misused by outside attackers. Maybe a phishing email captured their login information, or malware installed on their device now records their keystrokes. From the outside, it looks like the insider is acting normally, logging in, moving files, sending emails. But in reality, it's an attacker pulling the strings. Given the range and seriousness of these threats, how can organizations protect themselves? The answer is a layered security approach, one that doesn't just focus on technology, but also emphasizes culture, training, monitoring, and response. First and foremost, organizations must create a culture of security awareness. Security is not just the responsibility of the IT department or the security team. It's everyone's job. Employees at all levels must be trained regularly to recognize threats, understand the importance of cybersecurity policies, and feel personally responsible for upholding them. Awareness programs should include simulated phishing exercises, regular workshops, and easy to understand guidelines for safe practices. When employees understand not just the what they should do, but why it matters, they're far more likely to behave securely. Another critical layer is access control. Employees should only have access to the information and systems necessary for their roles. No more, no less. This principle of least privilege limits the damage that can be done if an account is compromised or misused. Access rights should be reviewed periodically, especially after roles change, and immediately revoked when employees leave the organization. Strong authentication methods like multi factor authentication can add another hurdle for would be attackers. Monitoring and detection are also key. Organizations can deploy systems that track user activity and detect anomalies, like employees accessing sensitive files at odd hours or transferring unusually large amounts of data. Advanced systems that incorporate machine learning can learn normal behavior patterns and flag unusual actions in real time. However, it's important that monitoring respects employee privacy and is conducted transparently, with clear policies about what is monitored and why. Finally, no system is foolproof. That's why having incident response protocols in place is crucial. Organizations need clear, actionable plans for what to do if an insider threat is suspected or a breach occurs. Employees should know how to report suspicious activity without fear of retaliation, and management must enforce security policies consistently, no matter an employee's rank or tenure. Consistency is key. Showing that no one is above the rules strengthens the overall culture of accountability. In conclusion, while external threats like hackers and malware often dominate headlines, insider threats are just as real and often more dangerous. Through a combination of training, access control, monitoring, and strong incident response, organizations can build robust defenses against threats that come from within. In cybersecurity, vigilance is never optional, and the most dangerous threats are sometimes the ones we already know.